For millions of students, studying abroad is the dream, right? But what if I told you that behind that dream, there's this massive, inefficient, kind of broken industry? Well, today, we're going to look at how one company is using AI to fix a problem that's literally costing billions.
6,000 crore. Let that sink in. That's almost $1 billion US. And get this isn't tuition money we're talking about. This is the insane amount of money that's just lost, wasted, every single year, all because of inefficiencies in India's study abroad sector. So the big question is, where on earth is all this money disappearing to?
All right, so that huge number, it's not just one thing. It's more like this giant, tangled knot of problems. And it's all tied to these really old-school manual ways of doing things that have been slowing everyone down for years. Okay, let's break this down. There are really three main culprits here. First, agencies themselves are bleeding cash. About 1,000 crore is just lost every single admission cycle. Then you've got this massive productivity problem. Everything's done by hand, which creates a huge bottleneck. They just can't help as many students as they want to. And finally, and this one's a big one, counselors are only human. There's no way one person can be an expert on thousands of universities, all with their own rules that change all the time.
So, who's brave enough to step in and try to fix this billion-dollar mess? Well, let me introduce you to the team. And these aren't just any founders. They've got some seriously impressive backgrounds in tech, in operations, and yeah, in the very heart of AI itself.
The founding team is, well, kind of like a dream team. You've got Kevin Lewis as the CEO, driving the whole thing forward. Then there's Clive Cardoza, an MS from UPenn who's running the operations. And the real powerhouse on the tech side, that's Kandeshwar Pundalik. This guy is an M.Tech from IIT Bombay and was a senior AI engineer at Bharat GPT. That's some serious AI firepower right there.
And they're not going it alone. Their list of advisors is just as impressive. We're talking about a professor with 30 years of experience in computer science at IIT Bombay. And get this, an angel investor who is an early backer of Perplexity AI. When you have people like that in your corner, yeah, that speaks volumes. So, with that incredible team and that rock-solid foundation, they built something called the Konect U Smart Study Suite. Basically, it's a whole set of AI tools built specifically to tackle those problems we talked about head-on. Let's dive in and see how this thing actually works.
Okay, just to give you an idea of the impact, let's just look at one single task, writing the statement of purpose, the SOP. That crucial essay? The old way? It took counselors an average of 15 agonizing days of back and forth with a student. The Konect U way? 4 days. That's not just an improvement, that is a massive leap in efficiency. So the engine driving all this is a tool called Nalanda. Now, yeah, it's a large language model, but what makes it so special is what it's been trained on. Think about this. Over 50,000 successful resumes and 22,000 winning SOPs. So it's not just some generic writing assistant. It's more like a virtual admissions pro that has studied exactly what top universities want to see.
Then there's the next piece of the puzzle, SOCH. I'd call this the brain of the operation. What it does is take a student's profile and compare it, benchmark it, against thousands of other students who've already gotten in. So you're taking all the guesswork out of the equation. It gives you a real data-backed probability score and even shows you where you need to improve.
And let's be honest, one of the most overwhelming parts is just figuring out where to even apply, right? Well, that's where the AI Course Finder comes in. It digs through this massive database of over 9,000 universities. And it doesn't just spit out a list. It recommends the absolute best fit programs for you, based on your grades, your career goals, even your budget. But they're not stopping there. Not even close. They're already working on the next big thing, a large action model, or LAM. Its whole purpose is to automate maybe the most boring, tedious task of all, filling out all those application forms. Their goal? To take a process that takes 4 days and crush it down to just 3 hours. Just imagine that for a second.
Okay, so the technology sounds amazing, right? It sounds super impressive. But the real question is, does it actually work out in the real world? Well, let's take a look at the results. The numbers, frankly, speak for themselves. For the agencies, they're seeing a 32% jump in efficiency, which is huge. But check out this number, because this is the one that really blows my mind. Students who use the platform have a 98% acceptance rate. 98%. That is just an astounding figure. And look, this wasn't an overnight thing. You can see the momentum they've been building. They launched their main AI, Nalanda, back in 2023. By 2024, they'd hit over 10,000 active users and even picked up an innovation award from Penn Wharton. And now in 2025, they've got backing from Awe Ventures and have launched SOCH. It's just steady, rapid growth.
And this is what it looks like for the people actually using it. Take Priya Sharma, a senior counselor. She said Konekt U completely transformed her process, and her success rate with students jumped by 40%. For someone in her job, that's not just a nice metric, that's a career changer. And then you've got the student perspective. A student named Arjun said the AI matching was incredible. And here's the key part. Konekt U found him programs that he never would have discovered on his own. So it's not just about making things easier, it's about opening up completely new doors. And we're not just talking about getting into any university here. We're talking about the best of the best, the cream of the crop. Over 120 students placed at Harvard, 85 at MIT, 95 at the University of Pennsylvania. I mean, these are top-tier schools. It just proves this platform can compete at the absolute highest level. So, they've got the tech, they've got the amazing results. What's next? Well, let's zoom out a little bit and look at the big picture, the market they're in, and how they plan to get even bigger.
The opportunity here is just enormous. The entire global education market is a $200 billion pie, and it's expected to more than double by 2030. Even the small slice they're directly focused on right now, that counselor revenue, that alone is an $8 billion market. So, to grab a bigger piece of that massive pie, they're raising 1.5 crore right now. And you should think of this less as just a number and more as the rocket fuel for their next big leap forward.
And it's not like they're just asking for money without a plan. They have a really clear three-part strategy for it. Part 1, scale up their delivery and infrastructure to handle way more users. Part 2, keep upgrading their core tech stack. And Part 3, pour resources into R&D for those next-generation tools, like that awesome large action model we mentioned.
So, when you step back and look at the whole thing, the big takeaway is this. Konekt U isn't just slapping a coat of paint on an old, broken system to make it a little faster. No, they're redesigning the entire path to getting a global education from the ground up. They're making it smarter, way more efficient, and ultimately accessible to a lot more people.
And that kind of leaves you with one last big thought, doesn't it? We've just seen how powerful AI can be in simplifying this incredibly complex journey of studying abroad. It really makes you wonder, what other huge, complicated, life-changing journeys could AI simplify next?